welcome back to Dallas, where the San Antonio Spurs lead the Dallas Mavericks 58-46 as we get ready for the start of the third quarter, trying to even this best-of-7 series at 1 apiece. And from the beginning of the game, the Spurs showed tremendous energy and really dominated the Mavericks almost entirely in that first half.
The good thing for San Antonio is that it came from different people at different times. It's like they almost took over, okay, this is my little spurt, the next guy's spurt, whether it was Richard Jefferson or Manu Ginobili taking his turn and stepping up. And then, remember, Tony Parker giving that big lift, coming off the bench and playing as that other scorer with the second unit. They got contributions from many spots.
Dirk Nowitzki, 3 for 9 shooting after that big game one, and now it's time for the Telestrator presented by the United States Air Force.
Well, for a few chosen moments, Greg Popovich decided to put Tim Duncan defensively on Dirk Nowitzki, and he wanted him to see a crowd. He wanted him to see a lot of dark jerseys all paying attention to when Dirk had the basketball. And when he eventually put the ball down on the floor, then the crowd starts to come towards him. McDyess closing along the baseline, Ginobili coming from behind, and remember, Duncan still guarding the ball. It makes it very difficult for Dirk Nowitzki to get a clean look at the basket. And even when he starts to come down, again, see a crowd, watch where the black jerseys are. This time Duncan forces him not to be a shooter, but keep the ball on the floor and eventually through the crowd drop it off to his teammate Caron Butler for the open jump shot. Turn him into a passer rather than a shooter-scorer.
Underway in the third quarter, and the same five who started the game, Dampier, Kidd, Nowitzki, Butler, and Marion for Dallas. Here is Jason Kidd going back to Nowitzki, guarded by McDyess. Jefferson came over to double for the moment, and Kidd misses. And the save is made by Dampier. And Kidd has not gotten on track yet in this game. And Nowitzki with the fall away, in and out. Dampier keeps the ball in the Mavericks' hands. Jefferson coming over to double momentarily. Here's Marion. And finally, the Spurs have it. Jason Kidd, who is 2 rebounds away from a triple-double in Sunday's game one, has no points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist so far in this game.
Well, that last series was just exactly what this game has been about. A lot of great passes by Dallas, no productivity at the end.
Duncan follows.
They're executing, they're doing what their coach, Rick Carlisle, wants them to do, but then finally you have to put the ball in the basket, and they're shooting under 37% right now.
Duncan with 10 points, and they really haven't gotten much scoring contribution from Tim Duncan. He does have 7 rebounds to lead his team. And a 14-point lead, and Caron Butler misses. Again, another chance, and Nowitzki comes in, and he misses the layup, and saved nicely by McDyess. As he is still in the crowd, George Hill gets fouled driving down the lane and will shoot 2. So Rick Carlisle, you wonder about his reaction after that first half. Marty Snyder, what do you have?
Just chatted with him, Dick. He said, honestly, the Spurs played with more force than we did in the first half, so expect us to be a little more physical in this half. Big key, he said, Dirk Nowitzki cannot pick up 2 silly fouls early on in this half like he did in the first half. He said, we weathered the storm one time. Remember, we cut it from 11-1, so we can do it again. He said, to be honest, we probably should be down more than we are right now. Dick?
All right, Marty. So Dirk, always the key man for the Mavericks. And we want to remind you, TNT in June, it's a new season and a new reason to get more leverage. The Leverage 2-hour season premiere event is Sunday, June 20th at 9, 8 Central, only on TNT. Biggest lead of the game for the Spurs. George Hill makes 1 out of 2 from the line. Nearly 2 minutes gone by, and the Spurs have increased their lead. Nowitzki, quick shot over Duncan. And they're just not falling for Dirk tonight. 12 of 14 game one, 3 of 12 so far in this one. And George Hill is fouled. Terry's second personal foul will send George Hill to the line.
San Antonio certainly trying to take advantage of their transition opportunities. Both Parker, Ginobili, Hill, when they get the opportunity, they force it right back at the Mavs.
What's Popovich talking to Ken Mauer about?
I think he may be talking to him about the cameraman on the baseline where McDyess fell into them and came up limping a little bit out of that crowd. And Pop wants to make sure that everybody's back behind the line where they're supposed to be.
Remember, George Hill, of course, ran into a cameraman in the last regular season game, and that's why there was a question mark as to whether he would be able to play or start in this series. And he has started the first two. George Hill, Mark Cuban, right now the grim owner of the Dallas Mavericks. And Hill makes the first free throw. George Hill, IUPUI, 28th overall pick back in 08 in his second year. And started 43 games this year for San Antonio. He makes 1 out of 2.
We're going to get a loose ball foul right there on that missed free throw attempt.
Spurs are 8 for 15 from the free throw line. So they haven't been ideal in every category. And it's still Mavericks ball.
You see San Antonio, very unusual. You see them extending their defense out, trying to put a little more pressure on Dallas.
Here's Terry coming off a screen and hitting the basket. So Jason Terry now 5 for 8 from the field and 15 points, and he's really been the only offense for the Mavs.
Yeah, he was from the beginning of the game. You could see the shot was looking good for Jason Terry. He was feeling good with it. Had a tough time in the first game, but right away came out strong. In this game, steal by Jason Kidd.
And Kidd is fouled from behind.
Back a second ago to Jason Terry, who winds up running a little cut off of Nowitzki at the high post area. Then it goes under the basket and now comes right back off the screen. A little curl action for that 16-foot jump shot.
Richard Jefferson running over Kidd.
There was no defender between Jason Kidd and the basket, so he gets the free throw opportunity. And that's the reason why Jefferson fouled him from behind. Really, he never got back in front.
Clear path foul on Richard Jefferson, and Kidd makes the 2 free throws, and the Mavericks will get the ball as well. And those are the first 2 points of the game for Jason Kidd, who was brilliant from three-point range this year. So now the lead is 12, and we'll see if the Mavericks can eat into San Antonio's lead. Was as high as 14 in and out, and that might have been offensive interference as well as goaltending. Could have gone either way. And Rick Carlisle saying it was clearly goaltending. McDyess hitting from outside. And there's Peter Holt. You saw Mark Cuban. That's Peter Holt, who is the quiet owner of the San Antonio Spurs, who lead by 14 now. And Terry comes back. So what was once a 16-point lead now is 12, and very little time has gone by in the third.
So even though their main guy, Nowitzki, is struggling from the floor tonight, Jason Terry is certainly capable of putting 30 points on the scoreboard.
Especially after that off first game. Shooters like that don't continue it. Duncan from outside. Rebound, Dampier. Kidd's going to go for the 3. And Duncan gets the rebound. That would have gotten a roar from the crowd and would have gotten the game into single digits. Here is Hill for 2. Long rebound. McDyess to Duncan. And how fast did Duncan get that through the hoop?
Yeah, he didn't want Dampier to get a chance to get back there and block that shot, so he got out of his hands quickly. Nice pass, nice hustle by McDyess, and then a beautiful pass at the end.
So Duncan double-double for him. With 7:40 to go in the third, Terry's been the hot shooter tonight and gets